Whoa, look, it's a bird. No, wait, that's a plane. No, it actually is just a bird. But, birds are really beautiful creatures. They come in so many different colors, they have wings unlike people, and they also... I'm talking about birds again, aren't I? Yeah, I tend to do that a lot. But there's a reason for it, and I need to make it clear. Yes, this may come as a shocker to some of y'all, but I am autistic. No, don't worry, I'm not dying from it, and it's not contagious. In fact, rather than a neurological disorder, I like to think of it as more of a quirky superpower. And I think a lot of y'all in here would rather hear about a kid with superpowers than birds again, am I right? Well, specifically, I want to focus on how autism has affected my life in good ways, bad ways, and in ugly ways. Let's start with the good. One of the good ways autism has affected me is by having a near photographic memory. For example, for Spotlight Night one year, Mom wanted me to memorize 2 or 3 lines of Patrick Henry's "Give me liberty or give me death" speech. But I was determined. I was going to memorize not 1 line, not 2 lines, but the entire speech. Now, Mom came back about 15 minutes later, expecting me to know maybe the first line. I knew the whole speech and could recite it to her without note cards. I did this in 15 minutes. The other good thing that God has blessed me with that I believe is linked to autism is having a very strong interest in linguistics. When I was just 2 years old, I was obsessed with the letter decals on the walls of my bedroom. Every day I would point to them and make the sounds they made. A, B, sun, cup. But no, my obsession did not stop there. My 1-year-old brother Brian was going to get in on this letter learning action. Every day I would bring him to our room and I would do as I did with myself. I would point to the letter decals on the wall and make the sounds and have him repeat them. The scene would go as follows. Brian, this is B, it's a B. He would then sit up in his high chair, hold his head high and proud, and reproduce the sound his brother had just made. Needless to say, Mom's not sure if she taught Brian to read, or if I did. Unfortunately, life with autism is not all ice cream and rainbows and lollipops. I don't know how the idiom goes. I don't know idioms. I'm autistic. Needless to say, it's not all good. One of the bad ways autism has affected me as a person is with some very bad motor skills. And so while I can stand in front of you all today, such a grand audience such as yourselves, and deliver a 7 to 8 minute speech, basically for memory, I can't tie my shoes to save my life. I can't button the top button on my shirt every Sunday morning. And I can't do using something as simple as a paring knife to cut up an apple for lunch. But the other big bad thing that comes with my autism is having sensory processing disorder, or SPD for short. Now, we all know that each human has 5 different senses: sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch. People with SPD, including myself, some senses tend to overreact or underreact. For example, the neurotypical person would smell a skunk and flinch back from the horrendous smell that it makes. But for me, I probably am not even going to smell it at all. But on the flip side, some senses overreact rather than underreacting. When the neurotypical person is tapped on the shoulder, their normal response is going to be, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" and start up a conversation. However, with SPD, it feels like I'm being stabbed in the shoulder with a knife, and I tend to react quickly and in a way that makes an awkward and embarrassing situation for everyone involved. I mean, who goes berserk over being tapped on the shoulder? I do. Now, I have to talk about the ugly stuff. This is stuff I don't even really want to talk about, but I need to for the sake of context. Being autistic, I'm very prone to things like bullying and teasing. One prime example I remember is at a summer camp in 2011, where this one boy that was there singled me out because of my differences. It started out with a lot of the things that probably all of you in here have experienced at some point. Name calling, teasing, trying to trip you. But because I was different, the people in charge didn't really understand me much either, so they didn't really try to do anything about it. Because of this, the bullying progressed and progressed and progressed until it got to the point where he pushed me down onto the concrete, pressed his hand onto my chest as hard as he could so that I could not breathe, raised his fist and said, and I quote, "I'm going to knock your teeth down your throat so that you may choke and bleed to death." Yes, it's gotten that serious simply because I have autism. All I could do was I had to slap him off of me so that I was in a life-threatening situation. Needless to say, Mom picked me up early that day and we didn't go back. But another awkward situation I find myself in is when I have really bad social issues. I'm not non-social, don't get me wrong, even though I'm homeschooled. I'm just bad social. So a lot of people, they don't understand me and they don't want to take the time to figure out the quirks that I have with autism. Because of this, I'm left out of a lot of social groups and purposely not invited to social events like birthday parties. It gets really lonely sometimes, you guys. And that's where you guys come in. My family, my friends. Olive Plants Co-op, where I can take lessons in a bully-free zone. Where there's May Martial Arts, here we go, May Martial Arts, where even though I may get touched and hit a lot, I know it's coming. And to probably my closest friends, the Geek Squad, I think y'all are kind of spread out around the room here. Well, all I want to say to you guys is, long live Jigglypuff! But in all seriousness, everyone in here, you guys, you accept me regardless of the bad. You appreciate the good about me. You accept me regardless of the bad, and you never, ever participate in or condone the ugly. And for that, I thank you. You guys are the best.
America.